Okay, great questions. We're going to pass this off to two new speakers to talk about the new Acts of Service tool.
Hi, everyone. It's nice to meet all of you. Thank you for sticking around this long enough for us to talk about acts of service. My name is Brianna Goldberg, and I'm an AmeriCorps member. I work over at the Center for Service and Volunteerism over at SBS West, and I'm here with my supervisor, Erin.
Hi, everyone. I'm Erin Cruz. I'm the director of our center, and we're really excited to be here with you today to talk about a new system that we're going to launch the week before classes start during Lumberjack Welcome that we really hope will help make a difference for you, for your as individuals, as students, and also for your various clubs so that you can be more engaged in volunteerism and service locally, help make more connections in the community, and just make it easier to find things to do. So I'm just going to give you a really quick intro, and then Brianna is going to demo the site for you. As I said, it's called Acts of Service. This has been a long time coming. Over at the Center for Service and Volunteerism, we run 8 different AmeriCorps and AmeriCorps seniors programs. Shout out to any of you that have served in an AmeriCorps program or are familiar with it. I know that it's hard to kind of have a conversation with this many people, but just quickly wanted to see how many of you can do hands up or drop something in the chat. How many of your clubs struggle with finding ways to engage or to do volunteer service in Flagstaff? Okay, I'm seeing some hands up. Okay. This is going to directly benefit you then. And if you don't mind dropping in the chat organizations that you have worked with that you would recommend to other students that have been really great to partner with, because we want to make sure that we've got them involved with this as well. So this is a long time coming. Like I said, we got an Elevating Excellence grant from the university to do a few different things. One was a study to understand what is happening with volunteerism and service, because we know there's a lot of it going on, but it's not being tracked centrally in any way. And so I'll drop in the chat a link to some of those results, just a short one pager, so you can get some of the information that we collected. And then another big part of our project was to then launch this platform. So on the flip side, you all are saying you're having challenges. Our community nonprofits say that they struggle to find ways to connect with students because, again, there's no centralized portal to promote their volunteer opportunities. So that's what this is going to do. And I will turn it over to Brianna to kind of give you a demo and see what it's all about.
So I will go ahead and share my screen. It looks like we got a question when we make an event request.
Brianna,
Is
no
this
worries.
okay? I was
That's
like,
about a
is that
different
for
thing.
access service? Okay, great. Okay, so I will share my screen and give you guys a quick demo and overview of acts of service. So it is a website. This is what you'll see when you create your volunteer account. You'll get to see how many volunteer hours you've completed, the monetary impact of your volunteering, how many needs that you've responded to, and then you can even RSVP for events, which is a pretty cool feature. And then you can also fan agencies. So you can click here to agencies and you'll be able to see a whole list of the different nonprofits who have a profile on the account on the Acts of Service website. And then you can become a fan. And what that'll do, it's like an algorithm that it sends. It'll send you volunteer opportunities that are specifically related to that organization. So going to volunteer needs, you guys obviously have a lot of volunteer hours that you probably have to fulfill at some point with your club or org. So this is going to be a great way for you to see all of the opportunities through acts of service. So you can scroll down here. It has either a grid view, or you can look at it through calendar view. So there's a couple of different ways that you can view it, but you'll just scroll down here. Right now we have not a whole lot of volunteer opportunities just because we're still kind of building it out. But as we go on, we're definitely gonna have nonprofits submitting their volunteer opportunities, and they go month by month. Depending on what month you're looking for, you can just go to this calendar feature or grid feature. And then you can also look up what events are going on. And there's a distinction between the volunteer need and events. So volunteer needs are specifically opportunities that you are going to be helping the organization. It could be set up and tear down for an event that they're doing. But under the events portion, that's simply if you want to attend the event. So you're not actually helping out or volunteering your time to help create that event. So there's the events portion. We have a couple of examples. One that I really like to use is, click on it right here, is Cancer Support Community for Northern Arizona. They're doing a trunk or treat event where you get to basically rank the different chests. So it says that there's a costume contest. So a lot of really cool things that are going on with the nonprofits that you'll be able to see all in one platform. And then let's go to actual volunteer needs. So let's say that I want to sign up for cinnamon roll baking. So I can respond to these individually, and depending on if the agency, when they're creating their volunteer need, allow it, you'll be able to, this will be a useful tool for you guys, is you can actually respond to that volunteer need as a team, and you can create a team within the platform. So let's see real quick, have this example. So it has respond or respond as a team. So I'll go ahead and click on it, and I have the option to either use a team that I've already created or to create a new team. So we can click create new team. I can add myself, and then you'll add any other person. You'll submit their email, first name, and last name. So this is going to be super useful, especially for clubs and orgs, because you guys have a lot of people who might want to volunteer for the same event or for the same volunteer need. So this is a useful tool that you can use, is creating those teams. And if you already have a team that you've created, you also can go ahead and edit or add more team members as you choose. We'll just close out of that. And then the last thing that I wanted to mention was another feature that Acts of Service has, and that is the volunteer resume. So we'll go ahead and view the profile. Here's some benchmarks that will be created. So as you start volunteering more and more, you'll get benchmarks and badges sent to you that you've completed a certain amount of hours. And then down here is the volunteer resume. So you'll click on the time frame. So let's say I wanted from, let's go with June until current. And then it'll load. And then this is what it'll look like. Let me know if you guys can still see it. So this is the resume. Again, it has all of that information on how many hours you served. And then it'll let you scroll down to the badges, if you've completed any, and then what sorts of activities you actually volunteered for. So this is a great feature that Acts of Service has that will be really useful. And it even has what sorts of interests you volunteered for. So as an example, education, food prep, if you worked with children and youth. So it'll have all of that information within the volunteer resume.
And we hope that that's a tool that's valuable for your club, for those of you that might require service hours from your members to be able to report that up. For faculty, for classes where you have a service requirement, you can send this off to your professor and let them know, yeah, confirmation of completing your service hours. But also as you think about building your professional resume, tying in all of the service work that you've done throughout your educational career and how that ties to your professional aspirations, this could be a resource for you as well.
The last part that I just wanted to mention, and then I'll open up the floor to you guys to ask a couple of questions if you have any, is you'll be asked during the registration process what your interests and causes are. And this is mostly a way for you to get volunteer opportunities sent to you on a weekly basis. It's like a weekly digest, and that'll be specifically related to what your interests are. So for example, I put animals, environmental sustainability, and physical labor. So I'll get a weekly digest of volunteer opportunities that specifically relate to that. So kind of customizing it a little bit more. And the final thing that I wanted to mention is just we're planning in terms of launch and our timeline. We are planning on formally introducing this and revealing this to students and NAU campus on August 22nd at the Part-Time Opportunities Fair. So we'll have a table with some of our swag to kind of talk about and explain acts of service. And anyone who wants to can create an account and start browsing through the platform. And also, if any of you have any opportunities for us, we'd be more than happy to present to any of your specific clubs or organizations. And if you have any ideas of any places that we can also get the word out about acts of service, we would definitely appreciate any of it. Do you guys have any questions or concerns or comments?
Do you feel like this is something you'll use?
Yes.
Great.
Yeah, I see a hand raised, Benjamin.
Sorry, I don't know if you went over this. If we do want to do some volunteer work through this with our whole club as a volunteer event, do we have to have would I just register the entire club, or would I have to have each of my each member that plans on attending sign up for the event individually?
So you don't have to make every person sign up individually. What you would do is, so you would have your account and you would just create a team for that particular need that you're signing up for. And you would just add their email, their first name, and then their last name. And it probably will prompt those people in an email to create an account, but it's not mandatory for them to actually sign up for that volunteer need. Only one person needs to.
Okay, perfect. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Simultaneously, just want to clarify too that as you register through Acts of Service, you also need to submit an event request through TrueBlue Connects as well, because if you're volunteering as a group or one or two individual, but you're representing your club, that is considered a club event, so you would need to submit it as well. Which, as again, you're registering through Acts of Service, but you need to also submit it through TrueBlue events, TrueBlue Connects.
Oh, that's good information for us to have too, Salvador. So thanks for sharing that. Alyssa put a question, how often will volunteer events typically be updated in advance? So we're sending out a message today to all of the partner agencies that are already registered, letting them know that Go Live is happening 8/22 and to please make sure that they have all of their information updated. And we've asked them to keep at least a month in advance, if not more, current. So we will be working with them and trying to keep track to make sure that things are posted. I think a lot of our partners will have ongoing opportunities consistently listed. And one of the big ones is Flagstaff Family Food Center, which is great. I know probably most of you have volunteered there, or if you haven't yet, you will. They are going to be posting all of their upcoming high needs opportunities as well.
So Kai, correct me if I'm not understanding your question, but if it's through a community member and not a nonprofit, from what I understand, it won't be on the acts of service page, but you would still submit an event through TrueBlue Connects, so that we know what your club is doing at NAU and that everything is safe. I have a question for y'all as well. If a student attended this training, but they forget everything that they've learned today, how do they remember how to use your website and all of these things?
So Brianna is our main contact. We have an email, we'll drop it in the chat for it's actsofservice@nau.edu. We're happy to come, like we said, do trainings for your club if you want to have us come and just get everybody signed up and ready to go. And some of your early semester meetings, we can do that. We will also have a volunteer guide published in the next week or so for how to go ahead and get set up on the site. And hopefully you will see us around campus tabling at a lot of events in the next weeks and months. So, but first stop, email actsofservice@nau.edu and we will help you.
Wonderful, thank you.
And if any of you start understanding a little bit more about acts of service, and any of you are very enthusiastic about acts of service and you know a little bit more about it, we also are asking, because at this point it's just Aaron and me who have been getting this platform up and running, so our bandwidth is very, very short. So we're also asking for any volunteer ambassadors to help us out if they're also really enthusiastic about this new opportunity. So we can give you like a quick training so that you have that foundation of understanding acts of service and how to get the message out.
I see one more question that's probably worth addressing. Since clubs are 501c3 eligible, can they make submissions asking for volunteers for community members? I think I would probably need to understand that a little bit better, and maybe I can follow up with Salvador and team about what that would look like. Or Kai, if you want to send that question to Acts of Service, we can dig into it a little bit more. Right now, we've kind of had, I think TrueBlue Connects is the club sort of realm, and this is a little bit different. And so I don't think I can give you like a great answer right now. I think I need to understand more. I'll write your name down too, so I can follow up with you.
So Kai, I want to make sure you remember, while some clubs are 50Cs, it is a different distinction to be a 50C3, and there are a very few orgs that actually meet that qualifications. And if they do meet those qualifications, then we'll be able to interface with you with acts of service, with our team, etc., to make sure that you're able to do everything you need to as a 501c3.
All right. So thank you so much, Brianna and Aaron. I would ask you if possible, you already I think you already added the email accessservice@nau.edu. If you have any questions, particularly about access service, please email them directly, and they will be able to provide the actual questions. We're about to send out the actual link for attendance, so just bear with us. Don't leave if you want to have it count for your attendance. But thank you so much, Brianna and Aaron. We appreciate you all. And they will also be coming back, I believe in October, to provide more context about access service and maybe a little bit more about tips and tricks on how to navigate that too. So they're not gone forever. They will be coming back in October. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you.
I do want to share with you an opportunity to volunteer. The Cancer Society emailed us directly asking for volunteers. So I wanted to share that with you all directly. It is in the chat here where you'll be able to actually volunteer. It is at the beginning of the semester, almost September 7th, and obviously it is being hosted in Flagstaff, Arizona. So if you are interested in volunteering, feel free to do so, but don't forget to submit your event request as well. Okay. Next slide. We'll share announcements, and then after that, we'll send the actual attendance link. Alrighty, so as a friendly reminder, please make sure that you continue moving forward. Make sure that you continue to check our student organizational manual as much as possible. Remember that we're always going to be available for consultations. However, please keep in mind that we're always going to also refer you to the org manual, because most likely, like we previously mentioned, the answer to your questions are going to be in the manual. Sometimes we need to provide more context, and we'll share that with you when that is happening, but just keep that in mind. Please check Microsoft Teams 1 to 2 times a day / week for important information about Club Fair, information about upcoming meetings, information about new requirements, anything related to your club. Remember that each club was required to assign 2 specific club representatives when they completed their SOAR. So those 2 representatives, please make sure that you are reviewing Microsoft Teams as much as possible. If the representative has changed, please let us know as well. So that way we are updating our tracker, because that does not get updated in Microsoft and TrueBlue Connects, but it gets updated on our end. Monthly meetings. Here are your specific dates and times for the this academic year's monthly meetings. You all were notified about these specific dates and times as well during the actual congratulations email. We will also share the links again one more time in Microsoft Teams, but please make sure you create your own individual calendar and by whatever you need to do to remind yourself. And remember that similar to training, you do need to have 2 officers attend these monthly meetings, and they are required. Don't forget that, so as a friendly reminder today, you need to make sure that you complete our attendance form that we're going to send out right now. When you complete the attendance form, everybody who completed the attendance form on Monday and today will receive an email with the actual link to the quiz. We will also hyperlink the actual recordings in case you need a refresher, but just a reminder, you will have the link to the quiz. You have a week, so you have until August 15th to complete this quiz. Only 2 officers need to complete and pass the quiz. If you have more officers take it, perfect. Better safe than sorry, but we only need 2 officers to complete it. If you don't pass the quiz, we'll have you retake it until you pass it. Then your club will not be able to continue to be active. If you pass the quiz, perfect. Your club is not affected at all whatsoever. What's I gonna say? If you don't complete on August 15 your quiz or pass it, just know that your actual club will be frozen, and you will also not be allowed to be attending Club Fair. At the same time, any event requests or meeting requests that you have submitted, because you will be frozen if you don't take these quizzes and pass, your event request / meeting request will be denied, even if they have already been approved. So keep that in mind, that this is very vital for you all to complete it. We only need 2 people to take it and pass. Any questions in the chat, Meredith, that I missed? You should have multiple. The monthly meetings are required, and yes, they are via Zoom. So I'll share those things as well.
Yes, all of the monthly meetings are via Zoom. The new updated logos are in the Microsoft Teams team for all the student orgs, and then it's in the officer channel. You will find out if you pass the quiz after we're doing the check. I believe it's going to be on the 15th or afterwards, where we're looking through and seeing all of the passing scores, and then we'll send emails to all orgs that have 2 passing quizzes. Unfortunately, we are not sending the quiz today, Emmy, and so I would ask you to try to find another officer to fill in for you to make sure that it's due on time. it's completed on time, because if it's not completed on time, you are at risk of being frozen. Kate, you should pass the first time. We don't really have a set number of attempts. What's a passing grade? You're supposed to be aiming for getting them all correct, Julie. You've attended the training. You've got this. If we have two different sets of people that attended this meeting and the meeting on Monday, do we all need to complete the quiz? We only require a minimum of 2 passing mandatory quizzes. We will be sending it to everyone who's got an attendance link. And so every one of your officers who did attend can complete it, but we will just need a minimum of 2. The attendance link has not been sent in the chat yet, Jackson, and the quiz is being sent out tomorrow via email. Yes, if you've missed a day of the training, if you've missed even just 5 minutes of the training, we're going to ask you, we expect all officers to fill in on what they have missed. That is your responsibility to complete before you complete the mandatory quiz. No, you will not fail if you don't get them all right. And honestly, we tried to pick pretty easy questions. It shouldn't be too hard to pass, guys.
Our ultimate goal is not to freeze you, remember. We just want to make sure that you have some information was retained.
Mm-hmm. There is no time limit. If one of the 3, if any of the clubs you're trying to represent are frozen, there's a chance you might have to prove at a later time that you've completed the training and completed the quiz, because we're only looking at active orgs right now. And currently clubs cannot become re-registered until after September 1st at this time.
So the link has been shared by Meredith. Please make sure that only one individual, every single individual completes the link. The link will close by 2 p.m. today, and do not share it with anybody else, please. We are running to a trust aspect, so we trust you that you would just complete your own individual link. So make sure you do that. Again, this link will close at 2 p.m. If people don't complete it by 2 p.m., then it is considered absent. If you have questions whether or not your club is registered for Clubfare, please stay behind so that way I could check if you did register. I could verbally tell you whether you did or not. We have reached our max, so I want to make sure that if you are registered or need a cancellation, please let us know, or you just want to confirm that you did register. So make sure that you complete the link, attendance link. We'll stay here for a couple more minutes if you have any questions, but
Hello, Eric. Yes, the monthly meeting dates have already been
We're
decided.
good to. We're good to leave.
Okay. They have already been decided. I can put it back on the screen and so you can take a photo, but you also should have an email if you're one of the Microsoft Team contacts or if you completed the SOAR. We've sent them out at the end of last semester. It is not mandatory for anyone to attend Clubfare. It's optional and you would fill out the application to attend.
Jane, we're not aware of, LNE does not have any requirement about having sports clubs complete volunteer hours. But you will need to double check with Joseph Alexis to see if he has any requirements to actually have every single sports clubs have a volunteer. If you have not filled out the Clubfare form, it is actually in Microsoft Teams in the general channel.
I just had a question about representing my club at the club fair. I know last semester that it was like mandatory to have 2 officers like representing the club. Is that not? Is it okay if it's just myself or at each table?
We recommend for you to have at least 2. We always say for Clubfare, we recommend it's 2 because it gets super crowded, and for you to be able to actually divide and conquer between 2 or 3, the max people that you could have at your Clubfare table is going to be 4. We can be flexible, but you're more than welcome to just be yourself, representing your club at the Clubfares, but just know it's going to be really crowded and you might need some support, but you're more than welcome to just show up yourself.
Great, thank you.
Hi, so Paige and I are representing a club at PBC. So I guess my biggest question is like, should we set up a meeting with you guys so we know what applies to us and what doesn't? Because like event applications and stuff like that, like we do room reservations through admin and it just looks a lot different. So how do we, like, who do we go about contacting with all these questions? Because I just feel like a lot didn't apply to us today.
Audrey was cutting off for me. Did you get that, Elise or Meredith? Sorry, Audrey, can you repeat your question again? You were cutting off.
Yeah, no worries.